Welcome back, everybody, to another Digital Gate Studios production. This is one that the fans have been waiting for. This is an update, overhaul, rethinking of one of your favorite decks, Jeff.
Absolutely.
What do you got?
First of all, Hawkmon Armor Rush, right?
Yep.
Is the second most viewed deck profile video on our channel.
As of right now.
As of the time of this recording.
Yep.
We need this to beat that. And I think I found not only what the deck needed to make it more consistent, stronger, more terrifying, and just have way more answers to a lot more, right? And part of that comes from the movie promos.
There we go.
So this is one of my favorite decks. I'm super proud of this deck. This might be the best thing I've ever built. Not to toot my own horn, but I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. I think you guys will like it. Let's talk about the movie promos, right? So the best part about the movie was the movie promos.
That's definitely true.
So we have a Hawkmon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 red or yellow with 2 or more colors and a Tamer with Yole to your hand. Return the rest at the bottom. It's also got an inheritable. So not only is it a wonderful search engine, it's a Hawkmon. End of turn, this Digimon and another of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve. So now we are starting to get this end of turn DNA that Imperial's been getting with some of the starter deck cards, the Wormmon, the Vmon, and even the yellow Gatomon, is kind of having stuff. We're starting to get this in every other color.
Yeah.
And the reason why I decided to build Hawkmon Armor Rush with the movie promos and focusing on that is because this is the most consistent version of what I wanted to make. Obviously, the Yole, the Uko, is very, very powerful.
Right.
Great movie promos, can be used in a lot of decks. The Armadillo is like a black card that kind of digivolves on a yellow egg, so you can still do the yellow base, but the Armadillos kind of seems a little bit more all over the place, where I really like how focused where this is, right?
Sure.
So not only is Hawkmon red, right? It can, even though it can't evolve on an Evo, it has almost the exact same ability as our original BT8 Hawkmon Searcher, which was search the top 4, grab a 2-color red.
Yeah.
So the thought process with this deck is I've been playing this since BT8, since before I really even had a good top end and stuff, right? Was to find 2-color red cards. I even tried a version where I had Jesmon GX, right? And I was able to play, like, for example, Magnamon and tuck that and do some of that stuff. And I really, really, really liked the 2-color red aspect. For those of you who've seen my last deck profile video, you notice that 2-color red aspect is almost not there on the top end. It's just there on the 4s. And I was always kind of waiting for that next piece to really move into kind of what I thought was ultimately going to be the Ragna end with the way this deck was going to work. So shall we get into it? I think we've done enough talking about that. Okay, so I am very, very excited about this deck, man. This deck is insane. I just cannot believe all the pieces we've gotten and how everything works together. And like I said, Armadillo Armor Rush is a little bit, inconsistent compared to this, whereas this can do a lot of things pretty consistently. And for those of you that follow our Wayward City Games Discord, you saw I won locals with this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I did well.
I decided to delay the deck profile video because I really just wanted to test one more thing, and I'll show you what I was testing. I ended up going back to the deck deck that won, but I'll explain my reasoning here in a sec.
I love that Koromon, though. It's like the best new egg in red for sure. I see it in a lot of decks.
So before I was playing Gurimon, my last deck profile video for this was playing Gurimon. If you're 6K, draw a card. I had the BT8 Flamedramon because it can digivolve on a red, and it had the red Vmons from EX set that allowed me to synergize with that, and I could draw some cards. However, I'm not always 8K or 6K that the Gurimon needed. I was usually 5K, and so it was not very consistent. This Koromon is one of the best pieces we got for this deck. BT14 Koro is insane. Absolutely love it. It speeds the deck up so much. Being able to draw to find your pieces. Like I said, the whole point of this deck, with all the pieces we've got, is to increase the consistency, increase that kind of like draw engine, the search engine, and be able to just pop off when you really need to. So, star of the show, Hawkmon, same as last time we shot this video. It's still a mandatory 4-of because it is Hawkmon for your armors to digivolve. It is free for your new movie Yole, which forgot to talk about that. I guess we'll discuss that in a sec. And it's great search, right? It's pieces that you need. We did mention this card already. This is the new movie Hawkmon. I will say that if you are thinking about playing this deck, you cannot really play this deck unless you want to play my old build without the new movie stuff.
It's so strong. You need that DNA.
You really want the DNA. You really want the search. You really want all that stuff. So sorry guys, it's just kind of mandatory. This is where I might differ from a lot more meta folks. I am a big component of lots of level 3s.
Sure.
And an Armor Rush deck specifically is very aggressive. So you were kind of going through a lot of stacks, going through a lot of level 3s. With that regard, you might want to play a 5th egg. I personally feel like I haven't needed the 5th egg, but I do wish I had a lot of level 3s, especially because the new movie, Yole, can play a Hawkmon.
Yeah.
So I'm playing 10.
You want to have a target in your hand for sure.
Yeah. Ideally, this is the one I Evo in the raising area. I really did like this when it was a 4 of in my last list, right? But the problem is I really want these. So I kind of had to make some sacrifices. You could add a third one of that Hawkmon, but I don't necessarily think you need to if you decide to take out a red Vmon.
Gotcha. Okay.
Vmon?
So you still got the Vmons.
Yeah, so this was in the last profile as well. It really added that strength to the deck, the consistency, because it is a red free. Digivolves on your red eggs. It's got a kind of cool inheritable that can come up sometimes. But on play, trash a card with Imperial or free in its traits to draw 2.
Yeah.
Another reason why I'm playing a little bit more level 3s is so I can pitch a level 3, so that way I don't have to get rid of like my armors.
Yeah.
So that way I can, keep the combo going and I can draw a bunch of cards, search a bunch of things. Last video was playing a 1 of Wormmon for some purple, so I did take away that little bit, of the purple, so I'm not as consistent with the multicolor with the Chimera, but I still really like where this is at.
I do too.
Love this level 3 base. I think it's great. I will talk about at the end of the video some ideas that you can do that does involve taking out maybe these 2 Hawkmons, so stay tuned. We're going to go to the next card. The next card is a 3 of Hawkmon.
Yeah, that card's
really
good.
This is where things start to really change the most in the deck besides just adding in new pieces, right? Because before it was like a 4-4-4 split or 4, I can't remember the exact numbers I was running. But the idea is I would just, Armor Rush with my Hawkmon Armor Rushes, right? Halseymon and Shurimon.
Yeah.
Both outstanding cards. Things have changed a little bit. We have a little bit more versatility in the level 4s and stuff. Talk about real quick. Halseymon, Armor Purge, when attacking, delete a level 3, which does come up a lot.
It does, yeah.
Yep. Shurimon, I know you hate this card. I'm sorry.
It's a brutal one.
It is a brutal one because not a lot of cards stun bodies that are blockers. And usually it's like, oh, they can't block. Well, this one says if you're a blocker, you can't attack or block.
Well, not level 4. So I mean, that's a crazy trait of a level 4 to be able to impact a mega. It's really good.
Yeah, this can infect anything. It's crazy. It doesn't say level. It says when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker can't attack or block till the end of the opponent's turn. That card has done me so much work in the game. Absolutely love the Shurimon. Again, I'm happy with both of them as a 3 of. You could argue going down 1 Halseymon to a 4 Shuri just because of how useful it can be, but it's not every matchup that comes up.
You have so much search in the deck. You're going to find whatever pieces you kind of
And the idea is I'm adding in a new level 4, and I was worried about the colors when I DNA Digivolve into, like, for example, Chimera. That was in the last list. It's still in this list. Sorry for the spoiler alert. But I really wanted to take advantage of, now that I have a lot of these, we have 6 armor purges to get that early game aggression. Sometimes we do need to build stacks, and sometimes we just want to be able to, Yole, play a Hawkmon. What are you going to do with that Hawkmon? Digivolve into a Tyranno, play another Yole to play another Hawkmon.
Yeah.
This Tyranno is insane. I love when I get a Tucket with Chimera just to, boost the DP even more because I will have Tamers to get an extra 2K. This card is amazing. I love this card. It is an expensive Evo, and that was part of the changes that I tested last week instead of filming this the week immediately after I won locals with this list. I wanted to try one more change, and I'll talk about that here as soon as I finish laying out my force. This is still in from the last time I played this.
I was wondering if you were going to keep that in.
This card has done me so much work, and I really wish I could play 2 of it.
Yeah.
Right? The problem is it's not searchable, right? Whereas 2 color red, 2 color red, 2 color red. So it's searchable by 8 of my Hawkmons. It's not searchable by, like, let's say if I happen to run a training card, I don't know, right? So it's not searchable by anything like that. So I kind of just kept it as a 1 of, but I love this card.
That's your ideal tuck, right?
Yeah.
With the Chimera?
Well, I wouldn't.
Sometimes. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the ideal tuck. Ideally, what it is it's whatever color I'm missing.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say I have to DNA Digivolve 2 red-greens or a red, pure red and a red-green, and I need just one more color, whether it's blue or purple, to get the 12K from Chimera and a 4K, 5K board wipe. I have those options.
Nice.
But End of turn inheritable as well. It's the exact same as the Hawkmon. And
Yeah.
on that run that I did at locals, I had to use that end of turn on this one because I couldn't set up that Hawkmon on a Ragna stack to win the game.
Yeah.
So you could make the argument to go to 2 of this, maybe do a 2-2 split of the Tyranno and the Shadramon. But man, it's tough. The Tyranno's too good, and this is what won. Like, I gotta stick with it, right? Yeah. Last 2 level 4s in the deck. This is a spot where you're thinking, so you're talking about playing 2 Shadramons, but you're sitting there with 2 Agoonies? Like, what are you doing, dude? The idea of that is that the Yole doesn't suspend.
Yeah.
And, let's say I promote out a Hawkmon from raising, and I want to quickly set up a Chimera, but I only have 1 body on board. Shurimon is a 4-drop if I'm at 4 memory, so that way I can quickly Chimera. But sometimes you just have to, Digivolve into a hybrid to get that second level 4.
Get it going.
Or let's say you have an empty board and you want to set up a pretty powerful level 5 that I'll talk about here in a sec, right? I've had to do that many times. So, and then sometimes you still want the hybrid for game. So I like the 2 of split.
I think it's good.
So these are the 4s that I was running when I won the locals against, it was 18 people there, and it was brutal. Like, it was a good meta. It wasn't like just, rogue decks all day, but this can catch people off guard. The idea is to test 2 Aquilamons and 1 more Shadramon. The idea was replace all 3 of the Tyrannos with the Aquilamon and the Shadramon. And let's just talk about the movie promo Yole, and we'll kind of explain why, right? The movie promo Yole, start of main, if you have a Digimon with free, gain 1 memory.
Sure.
So that's amazing, right? So free, and free the Shadramon. We do start to lose the free with our top end. So that is a downside of the deck.
Yeah.
So my thought process was I can add a little bit more free, have 2 of the Shadramons, because the Shadramon, I guess I didn't read what his effect does. When Digivolving, activate 1 of the effects. You may Digivolve 1 of your other Digimon into a red level 4 with free in its traits from your trash for its cost. So let's say, I got 2 level 3s out. Boom, set up a Shadramon. Instantly, the other level 3 I have can Digivolve from trash into a free.
Yeah.
That includes this Aquilamon,
Yeah.
right? Because he's a free. Or I can reset up a Hawkmon armor rush kind of situation here. I can, give plus 2k to this because it's purple. There's all sorts of options, right? But this Yole has an on-play ability. Activate 1 of the following effects. You may play a Hawkmon from your hand without paying its cost. Hence all the Hawkmons, right?
Yep.
A lot of search. Or 1 of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Aquilamon in your hand without paying its cost. So the idea of this was sometimes Vmon gets stuck where you can't Digivolve into Shuri or Halseymon, right? But you have a Goonie to Digivolve into, Shadramon, and Tyranno. Yeah. I was like, well, the 3 cost Evo's kind of expensive. How much do I need the free Tamer on play from the Tyranno? What if we did the Aquilamon? Aquilamon on play when Digivolving, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 3k or less.
Yeah, it's a floodgate popper.
It's kind of, it's a floodgate popper, which really helps me out. Honestly, guys, I'm not going to lie. Like, I think, in theory, I like the Aquilamon and Shadramon more, but in practice, reality, these were the 4s that actually won me the event. So you tell me. I want you guys to try both. Let me know what you think. I like the Aquilamon. I really do in theory, but, because you almost get like a pseudo blast where you can Digivolve on your opponent's turn if this pops in security, and you can just kind of like Digivolve into that and pop a 3, stop an additional attack. It just didn't quite do what I wanted to do, so we'll leave that up to the fans to decide.
Nice.
Enough with that. I apologize, everybody. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled content. 3 level 5s. This is very similar to what the last profile was playing. That is 3 Chimeramon.
That card is so deadly.
This card just got better in this deck, even though I took 1 out because of the end of turn Hawkmon.
That card will only ever get better.
Yeah, so another reason why you could have 2 of Shadramons. 2 level 3s, Shadramon, boom. Another level 4, boom. End of turn, inheritable on Hawkmon, DNA into Chimera, clear board. Yeah. If it's a bunch of little guys. Or stop a big attack because Chimeramon. All right, let's just read this. For those of you who don't know what this does, start playing this card. It's amazing. When Digivolving. Doesn't say specifically when DNA Digivolving.
Yep.
Right? You may place 1 level 5 or lower from your trash. Underneath this is bottom sources. Dang, that's pretty cool.
Very good.
Then, for every color he has, do minus 1k to...
up to 4?
I think it's up to 4. Yes, up to 4 of your opponent's Digimon, which I've never really had to do more than 4 anyways. So
no.
And then this card is treated as every color and including white in its sources on your turn. That's pretty insane. So it can be white, red, purple, green, blue. Insane. It's insane. And it can even be black with my next level 5. I'll show you in a sec. And then your turn is, like I said, he's treated as the colors. But if he has 4 more colors, he's plus 4,000.
Good to go.
So if you have purple in his stack and you have this Vmon in the stack, he's
Huge.
purple. He's 14K. He gets huge. He just gets bigger and bigger. I love it. One downside of the Chimera is that it's not searchable by anything. So sometimes you do whiff on it, which is part of the reason I went down to 3.
Yeah.
This card is searchable by everything basically in my deck. I love this card. So this takes me back to BT8 when both of these cards both originally came out, and I started building Hawkmon Armor Rush for the very first time. This was my top end, was just 4 Chimeras, 4 Metal Greys. This Metal Grey is insane. When Digivolving, Digivolve 1, pop a 3K. Well, there's a lot of ace cards running around. You Digivolve an ace card, you know, if you can, right? If it wasn't a Magna Ace or whatever.
You're looking at almost a free Evo.
You're almost looking at a free Evo. It's insane. I absolutely love it. This card has just gotten so much better. And now I actually get to use a lot of his inheritables a lot more than I used to, right?
Yep.
So we're going to start off with the first level 6. Man, I might need to rearrange some cards on this table. First level 6 is 2 of the EX4 Galmon.
The newer one.
The newer one. So this is a shout out to Basil, who's helped me a lot with this deck. And I'll talk some more at the very end of this video. Specific changes he recommended that I could pass on to you guys because they're pretty good ideas as well. But the idea was, I was thinking, I knew I wanted to play Galmon. I knew I'm trash in security. The idea of Ragna is I want to get down to their final 2 security.
Yep.
Right? And so to do that, I want to trash a bunch of things. Well, so I was originally just going to go 4 EX4 Galmon.
Yeah.
Right? And then Basil's like, no, try 2 and 2.
Yeah, you always have a tamer out.
And it worked so well. Oh, my God. I love it. It was perfect. It's weird because I thought I would maybe do a 3-1 or, whatever.
No, I like the 2.
I love this. This is amazing. So when Digivolving of the EX4 Galmon. So he has a 4-cost Evo, so you're starting to see things are getting a little expensive for the Evos. We have ways to reduce that. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 13 or more. If it doesn't delete anything, trash security.
Which is one step closer to where you need to be.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good. End of turn. So end of turn, if you have a Tamer in play, doesn't specify color for future note, right? You can Digivolve into a Galmon with a play cost of 13, ignoring requirements and stuff.
Yep.
So you set up a stack, whether you Chimera, right, 2 level 4s. You can Digivolve into Galmon and then end of turn into this guy. Or you just have a Metal Gray.
Yeah.
What I really like to do a lot is Chimera 2 level 4 stacks, tuck this Metal Gray, so then I have that inheritable of while he's Dragonkin, it can attack on suspended Digimon to control the board really well, right?
Yeah.
This guy, I think we all know what BT9 Galmon does. Security attack +1, reboot. When Digivolving, he has a black Digivolution card. Digivolve 1. If he's got red, blitz.
Well, and that's the most important part, right? Because you're on your way up to that. You're trashing 1 and you're swinging for 2, and that gets you to exactly where you need to be for your end
It's
game.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. So now, here is maybe the best card in the deck, everybody.
Vanilla.
We're talking about 2 of Ultimate Brachiomon. So if you don't like this spot, I recommend trying it first, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about before you just completely shut it down. Jesse and I have been playing since the very beginning of the game.
True.
We know the power of vanillas. We've been playing Mega Zoo forever. We know the power of 10 drops.
Yeah.
What's the strength of 10 drop, you ask? Well, right now, it's, let's say you Digivolve, you set up 1 stack where you have 0 memory left. What do you need now? You need a 10 drop that you can just drop with an inheritable of this Hawkmon or the Shadramon. So end of turn, even if they're at 10 memory, you can DNA Digivolve your 2 stacks together into a Ragnalordmon.
It's guaranteed if it's your turn, you can play that.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's why it's a 10 drop. That's why I'm not playing an 11 drop red black. I'm not trying to be cheeky with 3 and 3 or some other ability or some on play or whatever, right? And I'm just sticking to the red black, red black, red black, red black that is searchable by my Hawkmons. So everything I need to finish the game is searchable, right? That's huge for a deck.
Yeah.
The idea is you need to be able to get your opponent to the final 2 security. If you have 2 security left and you have set up a stack with either a Galmon or even another Ultimate Brachiomon, right? As long as you have this inheritable, all you have to do is drop another Ultimate Brachiomon and you win.
Yep.
And I've done that many times with this deck, which is crazy because I have Ragnalord more in this deck than a specific Legend Arms deck, you know, that you would use, right? Whether it's You know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right? With all the
there's
search-
very few things they can
Yeah.
do to stop it
They-
because
they
you're
just-
deleting blockers on the way
Yep,
there.
You're deleting 20 costs, you're trashing security. It doesn't matter if they gain memory, right? You can put them to 10 and still win the game,
Yeah.
right? And if anything, it's cool flex. So, and what's really nice is my DP is really high. So 12K, 13K, 13K. Security bombs are really nice. It is nice if you just need to digivolve for 3 and remove something real quick, whatever. Tons of versatility. I really like this deck because I feel like I have answers to so much. D-Digivolve is great removal right now. Even if it's just D-Digivolve 1, D-Digivolve 1. The DP reductions, great removal. Stunning blockers. And increasing DP throughout. There's so many things this deck can do.
True.
Just try it, guys. I promise. All right. Let's go into, I've already talked about this card enough, so I won't rattle on about how exactly this works and what it does and all that stuff. You guys know what it is. Yole.
Good stuff.
I've read it. If you want me to read it again, jump in the comments.
It'll be down below.
It'll
You
be
can
down
read
below.
it.
I am playing a second Yole, and it's not just because I'm trying to be a cheeky guy who's really excited about Hawkmon. He loves Digimon, the anime, and wants to support Yole and the Hawkmon tribal. There are other things you can do in this spot, and I'll get into a second. But the idea is start of main. If you have a red Digimon, gain 1 memory.
Good stuff.
This Yole is free, gain a memory. This one is if you have a red Digimon in play. I can't really stop that.
Pretty 9 out of 10 times you're going to have that.
So the idea is, let's say I have 1 stack that's no longer free. Well, this Yole will still give me additional memory that I need to do stuff, right? You know, because Chimera will count as red. Metal Gray is red. I have way to gain memory.
Sure.
And I do really like the your turn effect. When one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors attacks, you may suspend this tamer to pop a 3K.
Good.
So Chimeramon, for example, could do minus 4K to a 7K, right? 5K to an 8K, right? You swing with the Chimera, you suspend that, finish off the 3K.
It's good.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Does not have to be in the deck. There was an honorable mention. I was considering putting in one of Tai because it would trigger off the Chimera, it would trigger off the Gauss, would trigger off the Ragna.
I think it would slow you down, though. I don't know if you'd need it.
That's how I feel, right? Because all of these are playable by Tyranno.
Yeah.
And all of these are searchable by that Hawkmon.
Yeah, you have a couple different routes you can go. You
have
can
some
either just
routes.
chip them down to 2, or you can just go into the Galmon and get right there.
And this deck can win without Ragna,
For
right?
sure, yeah.
But Ragna is just such a strong win con. So,
Yep.
And final card in the deck. We are talking 4 offensive trainings.
Yep.
This card is amazing. So this is what I'm talking about, why I kind of don't want to go to 2 of that, even though I really want to. I love being able to recycle bodies out of trash. The Chimera does kind of whiff on that. So I do have 4 cards in the deck that will whiff on the offensive training. But only 4 is not bad.
Yeah.
Grabs me any other piece that I may need. It grabs me Yole's if I want to set up some Hawkmons. It grabs me level 4s, level 6s, level 7s. This deck is insane.
Yeah,
this
it's a lot
deck
of
is
fun.
absolutely insane. I can't wait for you guys to try it out. Some honorable mentions. Basil and I were talking about this deck, working on this stuff. You could fit in the Ukomon Louis package.
Yeah.
If you really want to, they're free. You know, you could cut down 2 of these Hawkmon. You could even cut down. You know, you could go down to less.
A couple
level
things
3s,
you could do,
right? You
yeah.
could go down less level 3s if you think 14's too much.
If you want to run more the chip method.
Yeah. I just play so many Hawkmons that I run out of 3s really quickly, so I do like playing more in this deck because this plays them.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
So the the Louis and the Ukomon's great idea. And the other idea that I really liked that he mentioned, and I know even you mentioned this to me, was Gravity Crush.
Yeah.
Gravity Crush is a great card. If you want to play it as a 2 of, you could easily take out those 2 Hawkmons, easily take out those 2 Yole's, run in 2 Gravity Crushes. So just that way you have the memory on your turn to make your big plays, right? So definitely honorable mention to Gravity Crush as well. But,
all right. That deck is a lot of fun.
The deck,
yeah.
guys. Please share this with all your friends. Spread the love for the Hawkmon Armor Rush. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned and watching. Stay tuned to the channel. We got tons more videos coming your way.
All right. We'll catch you guys in the next one.